Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is me, Dana G, and today I'm going to be talking about this book, Darkling by K.M.Rice. I bought my copy off of her Etsy shop where she autographed it and put it in the mail for me. I'll put the link to her Etsy shop as well as the link that you can buy its companion novel, The Watcher, in the description below. So I purchased this book back in late November, I believe, and I got busy. I started reading it. I got to like chapter 3. I had to put it down because we had our deer hunts, and then we had Christmas, and then I decided to start my YouTube channel and finish my book and start editing my book, and so life just kind of got crazy. And so last night I was thumbing through it, and I was like, I really want to sit down and read this book. And I was planning on going hunting with my family this morning. Unfortunately, because I injured myself on Sunday, I think because I injured myself, it put my immune system down, and then I ended up getting like a bug. And then this morning I woke up and I just wasn't feeling it. And as the day went on, I started feeling better. And of course, I start feeling better. And what's the first thing I do? I go to Walmart and I load up the cart with supplies that we will need to go hunting. And I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. So this morning when I woke up, I grabbed the book and I was looking through my Facebook feed, and like one of those little pop-ups for Audible books popped up. And I remembered that K.M.Rice had actually taken her book and turned it into an audiobook, and that it was available on Audible. And I thought, you know what? I just don't have time, and I don't know in the near future when I'm going to have time to sit down and actually read. So I went to Audible, I downloaded the app onto my phone, and I started listening to it. And so this morning when I was at the mall with Minnie Monster, I was listening to the story. I went to Walmart, listening to the story, driving around town, listening to the story. And honestly, I love this book. I love this book for several reasons. One, like marketed towards like young adult, but as I was listening to it, I realized that it's safe for preteens. Like Minnie Monster is 12, and I felt totally comfortable with her listening to it with me. I wouldn't want her to listen to it on her own, just because there are a couple of things in it that they do touch on, and if she didn't have me there to ask, she definitely is in that age bracket. So I think that it could be marketed, at least for me. I recommended it to a lot of my adult friends. I already sent out a bunch of, hey, you need to read this book. It's like at the end of the book, it gives you like the option to send it. And so I pushed send, and then it was like email or through Facebook Instant Messenger. And I sent it to my friends on my Facebook Instant Messenger because it was that good. And with that being said, I would definitely tell my friends that if they're 12 and up, wanted to listen to it, like between 12, I think between, I don't know, 12 and 14, maybe read it together or be close by so that they have any questions. 14 and up, I would definitely say, yeah, they know enough. Actually, I think that Minnie Monster has learned so much through YouTube and other internet stuff that she no longer has any questions. But there were a couple of times that we did stop it because she was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I didn't have as many of those moments. So let me read the back for you. So it asks, how far would you go to save your family? Midsummer used to be a day of feasts and bonfires, a day when cares were set aside for the joys of grass between our toes, warm hands in our palms, laughter in our hearts, our celebrations dimmed with the light. Something upset the balance of our woods, something so deep that even our bonfires can't lure the sun back. And he has something to do with it. Of that we're sure, which is why I'm being given to him. Darkling is K.M.Rice's suspenseful debut novel about a young woman's sacrifice to save her village and the unexpected strength that comes from first love. So when I first started reading this book, my first impression was, whoa. You know, I was totally, like, right out of the gate, it was like, what the heck is going on? Because it doesn't really go into a lot of, like, right out of the gate, you jump in head first. It doesn't give a lot of, like, background or anything like that, which is good because it leaves you wondering what is going on here. So, and for me, like, because I don't want to give a whole lot of it away, but I'm really excited about it. But for me, like, if I were to compare it to something else, I would say that there were definitely moments where, as I was listening to the story, the Village, that M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village just kept creeping into my mind, and I was like, this is totally awesome. And just when you think you know what's going to happen, it's like, walk through door B, and door B is actually door C, and you're like, whoa, what is going on here? So it definitely, like, you have to really pay attention to what is going on. So other than that, like, I think it's a great book. K.M.Rice is definitely not new to the writing scene. Like right here it says K.M.Rice is a national award-winning screenwriter and author who has worked for both Magic Leap and Weta Workshop, the latter being responsible for such cinematic epics as The Lord of the Rings. She has had her work published in various literary journals and magazines. When not working on her novels, filmmaking, it says making films, or hiking in the woods, she can be found enjoying the company of many animals on her family ranch. You can definitely tell that she has a very vivid imagination and that she has definitely, she knows how to keep your attention because, like I said before, just when you think you know where this book is going, it's completely the opposite, or what you're expecting to happen doesn't happen. So yeah, so I absolutely would recommend this to you. It is a safe book. It is an absolutely safe book. There is no cussing. There's no graphic violence or nudity. There's nothing in here in this book that I would be concerned about as far as handing it to Minnie Monster and telling her go have fun with it. There were a couple of things that I am glad that I was there for, because once we got to that part of the story, you know, she did ask a couple of questions, and then there were a couple of parts in the story where, you know, the train was trucking along, and then all of a sudden she was like, wait a minute, can you what did she say? Rewind that so that I could hear it again. And so paperback or audiobook, either way is great. I like the fact that I picked it up and I could actually find where in the book the audiobook was at. And I liked having the audiobook because when it got to those parts where Minnie Monster was confused, I was able to rewind it and I was able to look at where in the book that was, and then I could read it for myself, she could hear it again, and then we could have a little bit of a conversation with it. Even though I was sitting there with her while we were driving and listening to it together, and when we were at Walmart and everything. But we did have the book with us, which was really, really nice. So yeah, so I strongly recommend Darkling. It does have a companion novel, which I have not gotten yet, but I will be, because I got to the end of the book and now I'm like, well, what happens next? What happens next? But of course, I'm probably gonna buy the paperback and then I'm gonna have to wait for the audiobook to come out, because life gets crazy. Life gets absolutely crazy, and I find myself more and more turning to audiobooks. I hate that. Like, I'm completely run out of time. And I keep telling myself, the older my kids get, the more time I'm going to have on my hands. But it's just not true. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I know you don't want to sit here all day looking at me. But yes, all the links to this book and to K.M.Rice are going to be down in my description. I absolutely, absolutely recommend this book. I can't think of one negative thing to say about this book. Like I said, it's a safe, supernatural thriller. It really is. And it does. It has a couple of places where it keeps you really on your toes. And then, like I said, what I thought was the most thrilling part about it was just when I thought I knew what was going to happen next, something completely different happened. So anyway, go check it out for yourself. If you're like me and you're just super, super busy, buy a copy of the paperback version and then go and buy the Audible version, or you can get a free copy if you're a new Audible member. And like myself, K.M.Rice is an independent author. So every time you purchase from an independent author, a fairy gets its wings. No, I'm just kidding. But knowing that you support independent authors and knowing that you like to read books written by independent authors definitely makes me happy. So have a great day, night, morning, whatever it is. Until next time. Bye.